39th in the world with 3.0 Xbow cycle in the most difficult meta. Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well. Today we have the most esteemed special guest making his triumphant return on the channel. You guys can all say hi to Betfas, bringing it back and coming back at us again with some top ladder 3.0 Xbow cycle gameplay in what is quite frankly the most terrible meta for 3.0 Xbow cycle possibly of all time. I know that I say that basically every time we have a high level 3.0 video, but can you guys prove me wrong? Seriously, look at this meta. We have Goblin Stein, we have P.E.K.K.A Evo Goblin Giant, you know, Fishinator type decks. We have Chef absolutely cooking the game, and just everything seems to be combining in favor of countering Xbow cycle. Goblin Stein is such a good counter to it. Any Chef deck automatically buffs beatdown, where Xbow already struggled against beatdown, and then the cycle decks also run Goblin Stein, which is just a direct counter to Xbow. So in today's video, we're going to be racking Betfas' brain and trying to see how he is successful with 3.0 Xbow cycle in such a tough meta. He's currently just above 3,000 medals and rating points in Ultimate Champion League. He said he's going to be going for at least 3,300 if not higher. So we're going to be watching a live Betfas top ladder push. So sit back, get your snack, relax, and you guys are in for a treat today. Betfas is just a type of player that always succeeds no matter what the meta is, and I'm not really sure what it is that separates him from everyone. It's just a mix of precision and talent. I feel there's only a handful of players that can play 3.0 Xbow in every single meta and have it succeed, and I feel like Betfas is one of them. There are some other names like Titan and Mortar, if you guys know who they are. I've had them both as special guests on my channel before, but you have to tap into a different side of yourself when playing 3.0 Xbow cycle, especially in these difficult metas. And I feel like there's very few people, again, who are able to do that, Betfas being one of them once more, which is the focus of today's video. So first game of the day here against Air Surfer, as we are again right hovering above 3,000 medals. And Air Surfer, a former CRL level professional player, playing Hog Lightning with a Goblin Stein, but Betfas has a comfortable damage lead because he punished a pretty aggressive Goblin Stein play by Air Surfer in single, and so he's just going to have a pretty decent 1,500 or so lead, which he's going to try and hold on to. A few problems with this matchup. Number one, obviously the Lightning is a great counter to Xbow and the Tesla and any kind of defensive setup you have. So we will see Betfas going for these anti-Lightning Teslas pretty high up. Although right now this might be game right here. Log on the cannon Skellies, and Air Surfer is not ready for that last second log, and that right there is just going to be a good game. Amazing offense by Betfas, same time as Air Surfer attacked, but he was also able to cut the Hog out of range with the Tesla, which meant he was able to log away the cannon. Air Surfer was not ready for that last minute play, and now we are literally just in Fireball log range. So very well played by Betfas, beating again a CRL level professional player in this matchup. Very tough one. Amazing win to start the video out, and you guys can get ready for more because we're going to have many amazing such wins. Alright, into our next match against Sai Romain. Now, this is going to be the game for 3,100, guys, and he looks like he's going to be playing P.E.K.K.A E-Drag, if I had to guess, or it could be another kind of P.E.K.K.A bridge spam, but most likely, yep, there's the P.E.K.K.A in the back. As you guys can see, everyone is just playing this, I don't know what it is, and then the Goblin Stein, which is a bailout because it's the biggest possible counter to Xbow. I swear, man, like Little Prince, Monk, Goblin Stein, like every new champion just by default has to counter the Xbow. And even new cards for that matter, like Evo E-Drag, Evo Musketeer. It's just kind of crazy. But anyways, nice archers up high. Great Ice Spirit to freeze the Ram Rider. Knight late to target that Ram Rider. Skellies for the P.E.K.K.A late, and we might see a log on this Ram Rider too. And that is a perfect micro defense, guys. Can we get some hype for that micro defense? Like, my god, it's like I'm talking to an audience, like a stage right now. I'm not, but like, man, that was crazy defense. And I think something Betfas is definitely known for is his perfect micro. And I mean, you can have good micro. Look, I would say I have really good micro. I can defend really nice situations a lot of the time, but what separates people like Betfas from people like me, you know, high level versus top level, is perfect micro every single time. You will barely see Betfas make a micro mistake. Like in this video, I'm sure there might be a couple, but for the most part, you will just see perfect interaction after perfect interaction. I feel like that really adds up to play this deck at the highest level especially, because you need to get those positive trades and you need to be able to defend perfectly against broken cards such as an Evo P.E.K.K.A about to come down right now. Now, this is one of the most popular decks in the meta. Evo P.E.K.K.A Ram Stein, and his last 3 cards should be Evo E-Drag, Rage, and Tornado as the E-Drag does come down, but because the E-Drag did come down, these Evo Archers are going to absolutely cook this entire defense, and that's going to be a perfect situation by Betfas, and he can now follow up with an Xbow because Romain has no P.E.K.K.A in cycle, no E-Drag in cycle, and that Ram Rider is going to connect, or not connect rather, going to get distracted, and not actually tank for the Xbow. Played way too low. Even if it was, Betfas goes for that nice Tesla to make it retarget and jump the river. So even if he did place that Ram correctly, guys, that was a guaranteed punish by Betfas. And Romain right here is going to give up, and that is going to be good game. Well played for Betfas once more. Alright, into our next match, and 3100 has been crossed. We have 200 medals to go, and we are in this journey along with Betfas, guys. I do not know how to say this guy's name, nor what it means. If you guys know what it means or what it says, please let me know. I always have some awesome people, you know, Russian people, Arabic people in my comments. Tell me what all these wild usernames in my videos mean, so I'd really appreciate that, guys. Our arrows come down for the archers, Rage comes down for those skeletons, and a level 16 P.E.K.K.A, two-shotting a knight. That's a totally normal interaction, right, guys? And Betfas having to overcommit. Look at that perfect micro. Like I said, you will rarely see him make any micro mistakes. That was a perfect micro sequence, but he did have to overcommit a lot, and now the opponent Russian dude here is back to his Evo Goblin Giant, although he did waste one of those pancake flips on the skeletons, thankfully. But yeah, we're against the Chef Tower for the first time here, guys, and this is a big problem of the meta as well. I really want to see how Betfas plays against these types of decks, and can I just make a statement? These kinds of decks being viable in the meta just speaks to how atrocious the meta is and how terribly balanced it has become. I'm sorry to say, again, I'm a big fan of Supercell. I'm a Supercell creator, and I'm grateful for what this game provides for me, but I have to say, this meta is one of the worst metas we've ever had, and I can't believe we were, like, left to deal with all of this for so long. No nerfs in December. But really nice defense. Look at that. Evo Archers in the corner. Evo Skelly's forcing out the Rage. Arrows will come down late, but this Tesla's cooking with the Ice Spirit to kite over. That was genuinely one of the most nicest defenses, one of the most beautifully sequenced defenses I've ever seen. I swear to God that P.E.K.K.A was about to get a hit, but it did not. That was such clean defense, guys. Like, my goodness. But again, like, this meta is just so terrible. Like, why is this being viable? Goblin Giant the back, first play. P.E.K.K.A the back, first play. Why are these plays viable? And why do they work in this landscape? It's not right. It's not fair. It's not healthy. It's not productive. And it should be fixed. It should be changed. Nonetheless, nice Xbow lock. Terrible defense by the opponent, as to be expected from a beatdown player playing Goblin Giant P.E.K.K.A cycle. Like, look at how this deck is constructed, guys. It's just the most broken cards. Evo Goblin Giant, Evo P.E.K.K.A, plus Bomber Fisherman for bailouts, plus Arrows and Rage, the most OP spells. Then you literally just throw in an Ice Spirit Skeletons. Like, that is insane. That is heresy to the Ice Spirit's name, I swear to God. Like, these cycle cards do not belong in a deck like this. But anyways, perfect defense by Betfas once more. Bit of damage comes through, but Evo Skellies will clean up, and now he actually gets almost a couple of archer hits, forcing out a really bad Evo P.E.K.K.A and nice Evo Archers. You guys can see that when the opponent has arrows in cycle, Betfas likes to use the Evo Archers either by splitting them in the back or by placing them down early and getting a few power shots out of them before they get arrowed off. Like, he immediately went for the Evo Archers just to get value before they get arrowed off, and I feel like that was a nice little decision. And now the opponent's not back to his arrows right away, so these archers can cook, and Betfas could go for a bow, but he already got that really good punish. By the way, I just want you guys to take note of his patience in single elixir again. He literally went, like, opponent went P.E.K.K.A the back, and Betfas knew if he went Xbow in single, he would have lost, so he just full defended and perfect defended. And I feel like that's how you have to play this deck right now. So he bowed his time, went for the perfect Xbow in double instead, got his punish, and just patience really paid off. Patience is a virtue, guys. So Betfas, back to the Fireball, knows this is game, gives the WoW and the Goblin Find. He just cooked basically a terrible garbage matchup against what I would honestly say, bluntly, is a garbage constructed deck. Very well played to Betfas. Alright guys, into our next match against Combatiente, and Betfas is now 150 in the world. I'm so glad. I saw he made a tweet. This is how I started recording, guys, and I do my best to bring you guys Betfas content. On a bit of an unrelated note, if you guys do enjoy the special guest features and this type of content, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I really do my best to provide. Can we just talk about that King Tower? Oh my god, guys, like the video for that King Tower activation. My goodness. But I do my best to provide some really nice commentary and gameplay for you guys. Whether I can bring it myself with my own top level gameplay, or if I'm not able to, like right now, I'm not really able to do that well with 3.0 in this meta. I'm just not. I even switched decks. I'm not having fun in the meta, so I'm not playing much. I do my best to bring on top level players such as Betfas, who are crushing it, absolutely killing it at the top level, and just have them be featured instead to show you guys that it's still possible, it's still doable in this meta. And so if you guys do enjoy this type of content, again, I really appreciate any kind of love shown. But yeah, feel free to like and subscribe again. Nice little sequencing by Betfas there. Look at that beautiful punish, and just like that, he's going to get a big lock in the left. So that was a beautiful play, guys. Split archers, Xbow one lane, knight in front of the archer in the other lane, perfectly timed last minute log as well. That's going to be a huge punish, and that's honestly a good game against this same deck, P.E.K.K.A E-Drag Ram Rider, which I would say, especially with the chef, is a pretty annoying matchup, but when played perfectly, you could argue it's Xbow's matchup, because they don't really have a big spell, especially if they have Rage Tornado. You know, the Evo archers can just absolutely cook, like look at this, and forcing up a NATO like that. Really good protection, Ice Spirit Skellies, amazing micro. You guys will hear pretty often if you watch any kind of guide video that something that separates top players from lower level players as well is getting value out of their cycle cards, whether it's defending Evo archers like that, supporting an Xbow, or cycling tactically. They will always try and maximize value out of their cycle cards. They're only one elixir, but you can get so much more than one elixir's worth out of them. Whereas I see a lot of the time, especially when I coach people, for example, and more beginner Xbow players, they'll just cycle their Ice Spirit Skeletons at random times, just play them in the back when they don't know what to do. So just take note of that, guys. Really nice play to use the cycle card. Speaking of really nice plays, look at this defense. My god, Fireball in the left, plus the Ice Spirit, plus a Tesla on the E-Drag in the right. This defense in this impossible meta, man, this is just so impressive. Like, even though I would say, again, this is kind of Betfas' matchup at the top level, like, look at that defense, and he literally makes the opponent give up. That is absolutely insane. That was such a cleanly played defensive sequence, I can't lie, and that's going to get him the win. So, this is the second time he's made a P.E.K.K.A. I believe the first guy he made give up was also a P.E.K.K.A Ram Rider player, so, like, my god, he just can't stop winning, man. He hasn't lost a single game so far. Alright everyone, into our next match. Betfas has now reached 3200, and he is going to be up against Goblin Drill. Now this is going to be an amazing game. Unfortunately taking some Evo Bomber splashes at the start, but it's going to be an amazing game because this, I feel, is legit close to 100-0 for Drill. Like, not only do they have skeletons for a super fast cycle, but they also have the Goblin Stein. So they have a big spell, Poison, they have a small spell, Log. They don't have a tank like Knight, but they have a Goblin Stein, they have a Cannon. And Cannon is like a half tank against Xbow. If you know, you know. When people are playing decks like 2.6 Hog, and they stall your Xbow out for 10 billion years by going Cannon low, Cannon in the middle, you guys know that feeling of just pure misery. Because you know you're never going to see the light of day with your Xbow. It's never going to get a lock ever. Just going to keep spamming it. But here's the first drill of the game, I think. And yeah, Goblin Drill. So this matchup should be pretty painful, but I think Betfas is going to show us exactly how you're supposed to play it, because I'm sure he beats matchups like these. I mean, if you're going to play in this meta, one of those popular cycle decks, you're going to have to beat decks like these, decks like Hogs EQ, and also all the beatdown decks, of course. So we have an amazing spread of matchups in today's video, guys. We have Drill, Cycle, we have a bunch of beatdown. We'll be probably getting some more cycle matchups later as well. Like, this is just how to play in the most impossible meta with 3.0. This is like a guide almost. Follow Betfas' gameplay as a blueprint. So this drill comes down, a nice log on the first drill. How is that Goblin still alive? That's insane, guys. That's actually really stupid. You log the first drill so it like negates all those last minute spawn goblins. For some reason, the opponent had an extra goblin that got him like 400 damage. I swear Betfas is getting so unlucky with his micro, but he doesn't really care. Like, he's not really doing any mistakes. That was just really stupid. But he's playing it super chill still, being passive. As you can see, he hasn't gone for a single Xbow of the game until 30 seconds into double elixir time. So if that doesn't tell you about how you're supposed to play this matchup with patience, I don't know what does. Anyways, really nice defense on that drill. As you can see, log first, then skeletons. That can help you against like drill plus log, for example, or drill plus poison, where if you just go skellies at the start, it'll get like poison or logged out. So you log the first goblin, then you can go for a cycle card to perfectly counter the second one. This is what I was talking about, guys. Betfas having outcycled the Goblin Stein doesn't even matter. Really nice fireball. Look at that, him trying to make counterplay, guys. Doesn't even matter because the opponent has such fast, like, one elixir cards, bomber, log. Like, his 4-card cycle is literally 6 elixir, guys. Like, that is a faster cycle than our own 3.0 Xbow deck. Like, that's absurd. And he has a Stein, he has these pre-cannons. Like, this matchup is straight up obnoxious. I don't see how Betfas is ever going to get a lock, so I feel like it's going to come down to spell cycle. Right on cue, look at that Fireball coming down, beautifully timed. You can see that he's accepted he's not going to ever get a lock. So he's still going to go for those Xbow locks, of course, but he's not really going for a lock to win the game and relying on that. He's relying on his Fireball cycle. Right here we might see another Fireball, or we might even see an Xbow, I'm not sure. The ability though will kind of hinder an Xbow from coming down right away. Now we'll see the bow, and probably a Fireball along with this bow on the tower, because otherwise he can't really get any damage. So nice protection, see some skellies. We'll probably see a Fireball on that Doctor, yes we will, very nice. You guys can see if they go for the Goblin Stein, you can usually either Fireball log the Stein itself, try and kill the monster plus Doctor, but the safer play, which is what Betfas has been doing here, is Fireball the tower and make sure you get that spell damage. But now we are entering triple elixir, and it's going to be very tough, because not only is Betfas going to have to perfectly defend these drills, he's also going to have to wait to get damage on the tower, as you see Fireball number 1 coming down. And I don't know how he's going to do this, but I really hope he can, because this is, again, a very difficult matchup. So we don't need to log that drill. It's played in the back. Pretty poor placement. Nice pressure while defending on this bow as well. You can see he's defending a big push and going Xbow at the same time. Really beautiful log on that drill. We'll see a Fireball on this Doctor plus Tower in a second here again, just to get that damage in. Plus the Tesla blocked that monster from getting on the bow. And now Betfas actually in the damage lead by his Fireballs and perfect defenses. So now we'll see another log on this drill. As you can see, if they go for the drill poisoned, you log the first Goblin instead of going for your cycle cards. And then again, Betfas can go for 2 more Fireballs, I think. So Fireball number 1, he has 10 seconds left. I think he got it, guys. He is going to force out a bunch of elixir, gets the lock, and that's going to be a win against an impossible matchup. Absolutely beyond impressive, man. I don't know how he did it, but just perfectly sequenced, perfect gameplay. Beautiful stuff to see. What a sight to see, man. That was just, oh my, like that matchup, man. That's insane. Guys, Betfas is now at 3244, and he has broken his way into the top 100. He is 85th in the world as of right now, I believe, and like this man is just something else. I don't know how he does it, but it's just so impressive. So right now we are up against CHNWL Atom, who is also known as Planet, one of my friends, one of the best Hog Rider Exinato players in the world. Obviously also good at playing other cycle decks. He's playing P.E.K.K.A EQ right now, and we're going to see how exactly he's going to play this match out, where P.E.K.K.A EQ is going to be the name of the game. Now, I saw Betfas play a match against P.E.K.K.A EQ earlier, but I think I'll choose one between that and this to go in the video, because I feel like, you know, we just want one really nice template and blueprint against P.E.K.K.A EQ. I also got a really good video of Betfas beating P.E.K.K.A EQ earlier, but he was playing different evolution combination in my last video with the Evo Knight Evo Archers. I actually didn't really talk about it yet, but yep, guys, Betfas is playing with the new, I would say, commonly accepted best evolution pair for 3.0 Xbow. I mean, he is the highest 3.0 Xbow player in the world right now. I don't think anyone else is doing this well with the deck. Titan hasn't really pushed. I don't know if he plans to. So 3.0 Xbow with Evo Archers, Evo Skeletons is the move, solely because Evo Ice Spirit, I think it's okay, but it doesn't really like change the game in the way that Evo Skeletons do, I feel, against some of the beatdown matchups. Like, they're both really good against beatdown, but I think Skellies are easier to cycle and easier to use. Also, Evo Tesla's unfortunately just useless as a card. Like, they nerfed that card, and it's just one of the worst cards. It's like one of the worst Evos in the game, man, I swear to God. Tesla had a really big fall from grace. Also, really good dual lane pressure there. You guys know Betfas' specialty. Getting 2 power shots for his troubles. You will see this time and time again with people like Betfas and Titan. They don't only use their Xbow as a win condition. They have their archers, their knights, their dual lane pushes with their troops as their win conditions, accessories to the win cons. Beautiful fireball cycle, plus a couple of Xbow bolts coming down on the tower, and that's going to skyrocket Betfas into a comfortable 700 damage lead, which might not seem like much, but honestly, if he plays perfectly from here, that's going to be a good game, because this is impossible to come back from with perfect defense by Betfas. But we'll see what Adam's able to do here. Defensive Xbow comes down as the opponent just goes for an EQ cycle, but he can go log, Skelly's ice, and he's already back to another EQ, which he's back to it right now, actually. So he can honestly EQ the tower or the bow if he wants. Goes for the piggies instead into those Evo Skellies. This is definitely going to be an Xbow by Betfas here with the surviving Xbow and surviving Tesla. If you guys want a general good cue on when to go for an offensive Xbow, it's never really a bad idea when you have a surviving defensive Xbow, surviving Tesla, and your opponent just use their win condition. Just as a general rule of thumb. I wouldn't say you should do that all the time, but general rule of thumb, something that I do in my gameplay a lot, something you will see these top players do in their gameplay a lot, is those factors. Again, look out for them as Xbow timings. If you guys are ever wondering when to go for your Xbow timings, when to go offensive bow, I really don't understand why Planet went for the EQ on tower right there. I don't think that's a good play at all, and that queen's going to get melted by the Evo archers. Plus we got another nice lock, because I don't know why he just EQ cycled in the middle of defending an Xbow. I mean, he could have gotten away with it, I guess, because 3-card cycle is crazy, but Betfas had the power of Evo archers on his side, so just like that, that's basically game. You're gonna see some more debows. I feel like Betfas would not defensive Xbow, by the way, guys, if he did not have a damage lead, but because he does have the damage lead, I think that's just a big factor in helping Betfas out, and just like that, we are seeing some pretty nice instances of debows utilized in this matchup. Anti-earthquake, of course, to his right side tower, so the Xbow and the tower can be earthquaked at the same time. And yeah, if he didn't have the damage lead, again, I don't think he would be going for these plays, because then he would need to go offensive Xbow to get some damage and pressure and force stuff out. But you can see he doesn't really have to worry about that at all, because he already has a comfortable lead, so he doesn't have to force out the Quakes on the other side. He can instead go defensive and just perfectly defend and spell cycle out again. So just like that, guys, perfect game, literally perfect punishes. We got the Evo archers punishing with the knight, we got the Xbow locks, basically, and perfect defense on the piggies. Basically everything you'd want to see perfectly packaged into a blueprint against P.E.K.K.A EQ in this match. So come back to this video and this game if you want to know how to play against P.E.K.K.A EQ. That was a beautiful win against a top player. Alright guys, 3-2-7-1. By the way, Betfas has not lost a single game yet. Just so you guys know, I've literally been with him, watching every game. He has not lost a single match that he's played yet. So that is just insanely impressive, honestly. And he is number 77 in the world. Shout out to Ian77, that's my boy right there. And Betfas going for a top 50, because he's not going to stop until he's done. So Yama God here. Oh no, this looks like Giant Miner maybe, which is kind of crazy. Like, how are you playing this deck in a P.E.K.K.A E-Drag meta? But nonetheless, really nice single elixir protection of his Xbow, and that's going to get Betfas a pretty nice lead in this match here, which is pretty crucial against any kind of beatdown matchup, let alone this giant one where I feel like it's going to be basically impossible to get an Xbow lock. So I feel like that is very impressive, very nice stuff, and pretty comfortable damage lead for Betfas right here. So I'm not really sure how he plans to play this matchup out, because Yamagod, I feel like he probably has a Prince and a Miner as his last two cards. Let's find out. There's the Prince right there. I mean, Giant isn't really played without Miner these days, unless it's Giant Graveyard, right? But all these like Giant Prince decks usually have a Miner. Let's find out though. Pre-Teslas will be the name of the game, because the opponent here has Zap plus arrows. So as of right now, he has no way to kill the Teslas, especially if they're pre-planted. And I feel like archers will have to be utilized well in this matchup too. Like, you know, you can split archers against the arrows, or you can stack archers when arrows are out of cycle. Just all sorts of stuff like that, basically. Here we see the split archers, because again, arrows in the deck would not make any sense to stack them. So just kind of getting maximum value out of those archers by splitting them. And now Betfas not really going for any Xbows just yet. Went for a one, nice one at the start, and he actually does go for one now. Okay, so interesting. I was going to say maybe he plays without Xbows, but no, he looks to play pretty aggressively in single elixir, which does make sense, you know. You want to get some nice situations, getting damage leads in single, and here we see a log, perfectly timed skeletons, my god, and Ice Spirit. That is, like I said guys, Micro's name of the game. Look at that Micro, and he gets a nice lock in the right, and now we can go in either lane, which I think is pretty important, because you do want to go opposite lane in basically every beatdown matchup, especially Giant. So except for Lava Hound, don't go say opposite lane against Lava Hound, although Betfas, believe it or not guys, does go opposite lane against Lava Hound. But yeah, now we can go opposite, so the opponent can't get spell value on his Xbow plus weak side tower if he goes in, and he can't really, like, you know, play Prince low, Bomber to kill the Xbow, then go Giant in front to counter push with it. Anything like that doesn't really work. Now Prince is the biggest problem. You're going to see how Betfas controls his Prince. Easiest way is going to be with skeletons to distract the hits, and wow, that is a Lightning coming down, guys. Lightning does come down, but Evo Skelly's beautiful value right there. Arrows will come down to clear everything, but Betfas gets a beautiful defense, and now he's in a lot of trouble, because this is basically an impossible matchup. I mean, how is he ever going to break through when the opponent has Giant, he has Prince, and he has Lightning? Like, that is just insane. But I feel like he's going to find a way. The opponent's not back to the arrows just yet, so beautiful Evo Archer utilization. Ice Spirit for the Mega Minion. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough. I feel like Betfas really tried to get a lock there. Very sneaky, but he's back to a bow, and the opponent is like 2 away from a giant. So Prince comes down. We will not see a Fireball. We'll see the Archers. Not time to Fireball yet. Nice log. Maybe Skeletons. Yep, Skeletons come down. Ice Spirit, opponent's on 1 Elixir, dude. I feel like Betfas is basically guaranteed to get a lock at this juncture. We'll see the Mega Minion. Definitely going to see a Knight to block that. You guys can see in these instances, you do not want to let the Mega Minion cross and get the perfect timing to let the tower hit it and tank with the Knight. You just plop your Knight down and make sure you protect that Xbow to get that damage, because these situations are much harder to get a lock in, so you cherish that lock absolutely much more. Right now, though, Giant opposite lane. Tesla, will this kite the Giant? I don't know. Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z, I guess. Evo Skelly's on the Giant, though. Evo Archers split to melt everything. And Xbow gets on tower. There is no way. Evo Zap comes down. Fireball log on the guards. And another log. Betfas just got 2 locks in 10 seconds against Giant Lightning. What in the world am I witnessing? So Tesla comes down. Preemptively planted. Log Skelly's Knight. He's already back to a Tesla. Lightning comes down. There is a Tesla. Look at that speed, guys. Betfas is definitely known with Elon Musk. Like, the way he's placing these Teslas down. He definitely knows Elon Musk. We're going to see another Knight. Probably yet another Tesla, honestly. Like, this cycle is insane. There it is. Probably see another Lightning. Probably see another Tesla to match that, because he's just so fast with it, man. Zap comes down. Probably a Lightning in a second here. There it is. And a Tesla comes down. Predicting the Lightning. Look at that, guys. That was like, what, 4 Teslas in 1 minute? Less than that. That's insane. Opponent even gives a well played and gives up. Have you ever seen an Xbow player make a Giant Lightning player give up? If not, this is the first time. There's the first time for everything. Beautifully played by Betfas as usual. That was legit like an impossible matchup, man. How in the world did he do that? I don't even know, but that was so impressive. Alright guys, I thought Betfas was done, but he is not. He's into the next game. He's at 3.303 right now. He crossed 3,300, by the way. This man has crossed 3,300, and he is now into this match against Mizuki. Game after 3,300, so he's still not satisfied. He wants to go even higher with 3.0 Xbow. Of course he does. Why do I feel like Betfas is about to get like a top 20 finish in this meta? I just have a feeling, man. But let's see what's going to go down here. Mizuki, I assume, is Mizuhara, who's one of the best Logbait players of all time. I think Riley says he's like the next best after him. Suwanki quit the game. He's one of the best Logbait players too. So this guy's probably like the second best Logbait player in the world right now after Riley, if I'm getting the identity right. So this is going to be an interesting matchup because he's playing what I would say is genuinely a pretty hard matchup. He's playing with Knight, Evo Skellies, Rocket, Inferno Tower. So Inferno Tower is kind of useless against Xbow. Like, it's one of the worst buildings you could have against it, honestly. Probably the worst building, actually, against Xbow, except maybe like Barbarian Hut. But it's 5 Elixir, so, you know, if you go like Knight Eye Tower for the Xbow, that's automatically a -2. But of course the Xbow player has to protect it later on, so those Elixir calculations don't really serve accurate. But nice Evo Skelly's log, perfectly defended by Betfas, even though that was on the inner corner. I swear I'm pretty bad at reading barrels, guys. Betfas didn't read it perfectly too, but just the Evo Skellies did the trick nonetheless. So this is one matchup where Evo Ice Spirit would be absolutely useless, and bait is pretty prevalent in this meta right now, guys. So I feel like it's pretty nice that Betfas is playing with the Evo Skeletons again. So again, guys, just to reiterate, this is the best evolution pair in the meta right now. Also, really nice catch on that Princess by Betfas. Unfortunately, one hit is still going to come down because Princess is just a very broken card. But Tesla is going to like take it out. Like, I genuinely don't think it's like in need of an emergency nerf. But I mean, Princess at the bridge is genuinely like a design flaw in my opinion. It's such a stupid play, and it's really annoying. But anyways, right now, Betfas' name of the game is going to be to try and force out rockets on the Xbows so that he can go for fireballs on the tower. I think that's kind of how this matchup goes, because you're never going to break through with Xbow against like a fast cycle rocket deck. You really just never will if they play their defense right. So it's going to be a question of how can he defend forcing out stuff like a rocket, and then how can he prevent the opponent here from rocket cycling him. You'll also see he is very what's the word? He's very like lenient, I guess. I'm sure there's a better word I'm looking for, but he's very comfortable going for his log on offense. He doesn't hold back with that, and that's something I've started doing with my playstyle too. You might even see a log on this Princess possibly, but Evo Arch is actually really nice. Log there, right there, comes down, and that's going to be a lock, and yo, a Fireball from Mizuki? What in the world? Okay, so I guess Logbait Fireball is the new meta, huh guys? But huge lock for Betfas coming in. makes sense why the opponent was not going for rockets on the Xbows then. This looks like a flip matchup then. This looks like a pretty decent matchup for Xbow, because you can just pressure with Xbows constantly, and they can't really rocket you out. So yeah, I feel like this is probably a good matchup for Xbow then. But yeah, still the name of the game does still apply. You want to go for Xbows to force them to overcommit, possibly, and then you can maybe go for your own. Whoa, that's so much. Holy, wait, that Goblin Barrel Fireball got like over 1,000 damage. That's insane. I don't think Betfas was ready for that. So I Tower comes down low. I can already tell you guys what's going to happen right now. Betfas is about to get 2 Xbows down on the board, because the opponent went for the I Tower low. He's going to just try and stall this Xbow out for years. So what do you do when they try and stall your Xbow out for years? You go for a second Xbow. So Evo Barrel Split comes down. You see the Evo Skellies. And then the second Xbow does come down as Mizuki goes for the Fireball Log on the left Xbow. Now Betfas' next goal is to get to a third Xbow in the left to pressure once more, as he's back to it right now. Xbow will come down as the Fireball is forced. Barrel is an overcommit. Xbow on the right locks. Barrel is perfectly defended. Xbow on the left locks, protected, and that is going to be a good game. So very well sequenced situation by Betfas. Multiple Xbows to pressure, split resources, spread the opponent thin, catching the princess at the bridge there, and that's going to be a good game. The opponent knows it. Very well played, very nicely orchestrated again. Expo sequenced by Betfas, and that is going to be the last game he's going to play as Zoom, guys. So that's going to be number 39 in the entire world. I don't know how he does it again. He's just insane, but thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you so much to Betfas for coming on the channel once more. It's always a pleasure, and let me know, guys, if number 1, you enjoyed this video and would like to see more special guest videos such as Betfas's, and number 2, please feel free to leave a like again and subscribe to the channel if you guys did enjoy the special guest video, because people like Betfas don't really post YouTube content, so I'm kind of like the main source, I would say, where I post like top Exo players content that you guys might not know about. For example, if anyone wants to watch Betfas, they will usually see the gameplay on my channel, and Betfas and I work together to kind of get this out. Like, he's very happy to be on the channel. So again, thanks so much for watching. Much love, and shout out to Betfas for keeping Expo alive in what genuinely is, in my opinion, the worst meta of all time. Definitely like tied for it for 3.0 Xbow cycles. So take care, thank you again, and have a great day, everyone.